Today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about northern lights.
How to see them, when to see them, where to see them, and how to take that perfect photo so you can remember the moment forever. I'm going to focus on Iceland, but most of these tips will be applicable to any country in the Aurora zone, which are all of these countries. I will mark each segment of this video, so if you're looking for specific information, feel free to scroll down and click on the chapter, and give this video a thumbs up while you're at it. Let's go quickly over what northern lights even are, and don't judge me if I get any of this wrong. When sun flares up and sends a solar wind towards the Earth, it's full of electrons. These electrons manage to get through our magnetic field at both North and South Pole. Once they hit the atmosphere, they encounter atoms of oxygen and nitrogen, and by doing so, they release energy in form of photons, which are tiny packets of light. That for us means we can see what we call northern lights, or southern lights in southern hemisphere. I'm gonna quickly run away from the scientific terms that I don't understand, and I'll move on to things that I actually know. So when is the best time to see northern lights in Iceland? First sighting is possible by end of August, and the last one will be at the beginning of April. Even though aurora is happening all year long, you won't be able to see it during summer in Iceland because of the midnight sun. You need dark nights to see them. So by this logic, you might think, oh, I'll just come in the middle of the winter when it's the darkest, and I'll have the most chances possible. Right? Some people will even advise you to come at the end of December or beginning of January because they got lucky with weather and saw amazing northern lights. And while it is possible, in my opinion, it's kind of nonsense and kind of stupid thing to do. Why? Because the winter in Iceland is so unpredictable. The roads will be icy, it will most likely be cloudy, with higher chance of snowstorms. It will make your trip a miserable experience if you're not ready for it. Of course, some people seek that sort of adventure, but we are talking about your best chance at seeing northern lights hassle-free. In my opinion, your best chance will be September, October and February, March. Even though October is pushing it a little bit, because that's when the weather starts being very unpredictable, so that's kind of 50-50. But in September, you will get the beautiful autumn colors, deep reds, yellows and orange colors that will make your photos from the trip pop. And also you'll get a normal amount of daylight, so you don't have to get used to too little or too much of sunlight. In February, March, you will still get the winter experience. There will probably still be snow and ice on the road. It will be the winter adventure that you might be looking for. And the sunlight is getting back on track from the winter slump when everything is too dark and depressive all the time. To compare, you can see that in the beginning of January, you only get 4 hours and 22 minutes of sunlight. But by the end of February, you are already at full 10 hours. That means more time for sightseeing, more enjoyment, more happiness, less depression, everything's great. The only reason why you would want to come to Iceland by the end of December, beginning of January, is a small chance to see glitski, which is an Icelandic word for polar stratospheric clouds. A rainbow-looking clouds that are visible when sun hits in a very specific angle that's possible only during this time. The chance is very slim, but it is there. Now we know when to see northern lights, so how do you see them? This step is very simple. You go outside and look at the sky. That's easy enough, but there are a few extra tips. You want the least light pollution possible, which means you will see them better in the countryside than in the city. Try to get away from city lights, lamps, or any sources of light. Look in the direction of north. Even though some nights you will see aurora all over the sky, a lot of times it will be in the northern part. You might be missing the show by looking in the wrong direction. Always keep checking. Even when the forecast says the chances are low, it could still show up, even just for a little bit. I had days with low chance where I saw them and days with high chance where nothing happened. Forecast is still just the forecast, it's not 100%. Best chance to see them is when it's dark, cold, no moon and no clouds. If it's full moon, your chances are much lower. You can keep track of the forecast on the following websites, the links will be in the description. We are now entering the photography part of the video. If you don't care about photography but would still like to have a photo of northern lights hanging on your walls, just like one of these, you can head to this link and buy one of my prints. It will help me make more videos for you in the future and you will directly support this channel. I personally handpicked a few of my favorite photos I took over the past 7 years. You can pick if you want a professional glossy paper like this or a cool looking matte fine art paper. Choose your size, and if you want a white border or no border, it's all up to you. Customize it as you wish and I'm sure you'll be happy with the result. Once again, head to this link to get a print for yourself. So now you are in the right place, in the right time, the sky is all green and you want to capture the beauty of northern lights. Now what? Your best chance is a camera with manual settings, but nowadays even a phone will do the job. It won't be the best photography in the world, but it might do as a nice memory. If you have an iPhone, just swipe up in your camera app, tap the night mode and set it to like 5 to 10 seconds, hold your phone as still as possible and voila. Android phones have probably something similar, so just use the night mode your phone has. If you have an older phone without any night features, you will have to grab the camera with manual settings. So, you will need a tripod, or if you don't have one, just prop up the camera and make sure it doesn't move. You will need to set your aperture as low as possible. This will be dependent on your lens. Basic or cheap lenses have a higher number, more expensive lenses have a lower number. I can hear all the photographers complaining right now how I'm explaining this, but do you really want me to say to set the aperture wide or set it large? I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So, low aperture number, good. High aperture number, bad. Then you set your shutter speed to anywhere from 1 second to 5, 10, even 15 seconds. With this setting specifically, you can play around for different results. Longer the shutter speed, more light gets into your camera and you will get a different sort of photo. You can set it to 30 seconds for all I care, but I like the shorter shutter speeds for more realistic photos. But that's just a preference. Set your ISO to anywhere between 1000 to 4000. This also depends on your camera because ISO will introduce noise to your photos and some cameras can handle higher ISOs. All of these settings also depend on the strength of the northern lights. If the northern lights are super strong, you don't have to set the ISO too high, or you can have a shorter shutter speed. You have to adjust based on your situation. Set the camera to manual focus. Yes, manual, and set the focus to almost infinity. Don't go all the way, just a little bit under. One last touch, you can use a remote controller, just like this one, just so you don't move the camera at all. If you don't have one, that's fine, you can just set the 2-second timer on your camera. This is a minor detail, but it's worth doing just to avoid the shaky photo. Now, if you want the video, that's another league. Sometimes if the northern lights are strong enough, you can still capture them on your phone. Like this video, for example, that's from my iPhone 12 mini. Or if you have a really good camera with low light performance, like Sony A7S or whatever, then you can probably get that as well. Another thing I do sometimes is that I take hundreds and hundreds of photos from the same position and then I just stitch them together into like this long time-lapse sort of video. This way you can get a really high quality video, but it's not realistic because it's not real time. And also you need an extra piece of software to put it all together. Okay, I think I told you everything I know about northern lights. I can't think of anything else. If there is something that I didn't cover, just ask me in the comments. I hope this video was helpful or entertaining. If it was, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. But until then, ciao!